Hello, my name is Xiaodong Liu. In this video, I'm going to briefly introduce my final project for GIS510. My final project is based on the background that the number of gas stations in Brooklyn, New York City is declining over the years due to business booming, increase in property value, population growth, and change in lifestyle, etc. So under these circumstances, a group of landscape architecture students at the College of Design are seizing a chance to transform the traditional gas stations to meaningful projects. And I, as part of the group, is responsible for determining the location of the first gas station where we want to demonstrate a pilot project. And to determine the first site, there are certain rules or criteria that we need to meet in the process of ArcMap. For example, the site needs to be vulnerable to the flood, and it needs to have a good connection to existing redevelopment, for example, the proximity to downtown Brooklyn. And the site is preferred to have a larger area, which is preferred by the developers. And to continue such a process in ArcMap, I have listed the following 3 analysis questions in here. The first one, I'm going to select and represent the gas stations in Brooklyn that are within or partially within the 100-year floodplain. I'm going to use the intersect tool in ArcMap. And based on the result of the first analysis question, in the second analysis question, I'm going to set other rules to help select the most suitable site or sites for the pilot project. And lastly, I'm going to calculate the area of the most suitable site or sites, which indicates perhaps the economic value for developers. So for the data, I've collected the 3 major data so far. The first one is New York City property data or parcel data that contains all the use, the attributes, the functions for each property across the whole New York City. And I've also downloaded the tiger shapefiles from the US Census website that can delineate the edge or the boundary of Brooklyn or New York City. And the third one is New York City 100-year floodplain shapefile data. So having this data and the 3 analysis questions in here, what I did in ArcMap is 2 steps. The first one is I selected and represented all existing gas stations in Brooklyn. I used the tool select by attributes, and having found this metadata in New York City Open Data website, I created this query expression that can select all G3, G4, G5 gas stations within this layer. So the result is 237 gas stations in Brooklyn. And then based on the result of the first step, I used select by location tool that the result is 58 gas stations that are within or partially within the 100-year floodplain that represented in here. These red dots are the gas stations intersect by the blue polygon layer, which represents 100-year floodplain in 2050. So for the following steps, I'm going to set other rules or criteria to narrow down all these 58 gas stations to one or very few gas stations in Brooklyn that we landscape architecture students want to demonstrate pilot projects. And that's my final project for GIS510. Thank you.